Hey guys, it's your boy SoTop22, and I'm in my little snuggie here, enjoying nighttime sleep before I'm going to rest. And I just wanted to get something out there for ego versus practicality. And a lot of people might have, for example, I had a couple of times when, people had their egos connected with maybe like certain things, and, in an objective sense, they knew it was impractical to kind of, force certain things or certain decisions, and because they tied their ego to this decision and sunk cost fallacy, they kept going at it. Like when you're gambling, you bet on a certain horse and your ego is tied to that horse, so you can't cut your losses and move on to the next bet. Those kinds of things happen, and they happen to me a lot. They happen to a lot of people, and I've been there as well. I've tried several startups before, startup attempts, and project after project, and sometimes you gotta know when to cut these projects. At the time, the idea might sound great, the best idea in your head, and then once you bounce it on the people, you actually hit the real market. The product doesn't have a product market fit. And that's the same for a lot of things. Sometimes it's better just to be second place, like Pepsi, or like, Uber against Lyft. It's maybe better to be the Lyft. Sometimes there's AT&T, and then there's T-Mobile. Even if you're second place, having a market is way better than not having anything at all. So that's kind of where, I've kind of let go, trying to let go, like through meditation and certain aspects of life, like, what am I good at? What is practical for me? And I realized, I'm never going to like be, try to be at least CEO. I'm not going to be, you know, just be in the face of people like the guy always having interviews and meetings and stuff like that. I can run a meeting, I can lead a meeting, I can be a team member, and I can also do operations. I know what the next steps are for a company. But why I don't like being CEO is, first of all, like when you're like the first person, is going to be all the eyes are on you. You have so much attention, and if you're an attention wishing person, I'm not going to say like any bad word here, but if you're a person who likes you can handle the attention and the pressure, it's okay. If you are a person who likes the spotlight, it's okay. I hate the spotlight. Like, I make these videos just to pressure myself to endure the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I'm an attention whore too. Hey, who doesn't like attention? And I love to be loved and liked. That's the main reason. But you gotta be able to be hated. So, and being like CEO or like the lead singer in a group or whatever like that, right? It distracts you from actually gaining skill sets like being a great leader, even like being the operational person, actually getting things done, having the skill set to build things and build a business. So that's kind of why I would always like the role of chief operating officer or the tech guy, to actually build the things, gain a skill set, because those kind of skills go a long way, no matter if the technology fails, the project fails, or whatever, like startup idea fails. At least you have the skill set to build something, and build it on the side if you want, or you can actually just join, become one of the founding engineers. Like my manager at my company right now, he's founding engineer, great guy, amazing leader, and he's has a really good life. He has a very nice car, nice house in Mexico, and like, lives the life. Great family and stuff like that. So, I would think that being practically happy in a practical sense is better than the showing happy, like showing off or stuff like that. So, I tend to not actually like the spotlight, because I've done several startups before. I've, been the title CEO, but most, even if I did have the title, like most of my work would be a job of a CTO, building the product, programming, doing this daily stand-ups, operating the product, actually being more of the product person, telling what I need from the designers and stuff like that. So in the practical sense, if I do several startups, I'm always going to have, no matter what title I have, I'm always going to be the product guy. So the main thing I want to tell you guys is to be knowledgeable of what you're good at and get rid of the ego. Just be happy with a practical sense in mind. Don't try to be happy of what other people's standards of happiness is and what society says happiness is. Just be happy, who you are. I've spent money very, very, frugally compared to like the other guys in Silicon Valley who make these like crazy six-figure incomes, right? Like I was like, man, if I had that much money, I'd be buying the best cars and the best stuff, the best camera equipment. But most of the things I just buy is like, it's fitness supplements and my seaweed. This is pretty much it. Like I don't need a huge house. I had a big apartment, and look at all these dishes I have to do all the time. Just buying a bunch of dishes. I had a big one, and then I got of course the housing prices in Palo Alto was intense. But with that money, I just got a small apartment, and very little. All my money is just in a bank account, like several bank accounts, like split, and I don't really have any use for money. I realized, sometimes the only reason why guys accumulate a lot of money is just to look like they're rich, and to attract, females. That's the only reason a guy is accumulating. Pretty much, if you're a straight guy, you make a ton of money, and you're building something awesome, you just do it for the building. But if you're using money to buy that car, apartment, whatever, it could be for their happiness, but it's just kind of mating ritual for guys. That's kind of how I feel. And for guys who don't really need that right now, or not really looking for a date, maybe they've been out of a recent relationship and they just want to chill, relax, they don't really spend that much money. I think maximum I've used is probably for a guy living alone and on a diet of vitamin pills and stuff like that. And I'm not, I've been doing bulking, so I've been kind of gaining a little bit of fat, but overall, not much. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave this video for today. So be practical, be stoic, be objective in your life. Don't be subjective to what other people think about you, and your happiness is dependent on yourself. So be practical, find the steps. What are the steps to your own happiness and success, and write down what your definition of success is. Is it having a lot of titles? Is it being flashy? Is it being looked at and having a lot of the spotlight and attention? If that is your definition of happiness, go for it, okay? But if it is for, just having a nice place to yourself, living comfortably, getting these snuggies and just chilling as much as you want, then do that. So until next time, I'll see you guys soon. This was SoTop22. Check out, my sponsors of today. That is the Morning Sidekick Journal. Links down below. And my other YouTube channels, links down below. And comment, what is your definition of happiness? See you guys soon.